What is up, Division 2 agents? This is Gamer for Life back with another Division 2 build video. Now in this one we're going to go over the new gear set Heartbreaker, and let's go ahead and take a look at that. So yes, I know I do not have the Catharsis on, I have the Memento on, but we're going to go over that in just a minute. But first, let's take a look at this new gear set. 2-piece bonus plus 15% assault rifle damage, 15% LMG damage. 3-piece, 15% weapon handling, and the 4-piece heart stopper. Headshots apply pulse for 5 seconds. Weapon hits on pulsed enemies add stack of plus 1% bonus armor and 1% damage to pulsed enemies up to a max of 50 stacks. 2 stacks are lost each second. And with my chest piece on, the talent for my chest piece is increases max stacks for Heartstopper from 50 to 100. So we will be getting 100 stacks. Now, the way I decided to run this build is I went away from the crit and I just did straight up headshot damage on everything. So with my mask, I have rolled a max weapon damage, headshot damage, and a 10% headshot damage mod. Max armor, headshot damage, 9.8% headshot damage mod, holster max armor, 10% headshot damage, and then my gloves max armor, 10% headshot damage. And of course I'm running some Fox's Prayer knee pads, 15% weapon damage, 8% damage to target out of cover, and 10% headshot damage, and then the Memento. So now that the Catharsis, I know, is the shiny new toy, everyone wants to use it, but this build is meant for the PVE solo experience. The Catharsis with what it does, and now there are definitely builds for PVE that you can run this on. I'll just give you one reason I'm going with the Memento as far as PVE. PvP, this definitely makes sense. If you read the talent, Vicious Cycle, taking damage build stacks up to a cap of 30. Each stack grants plus 1% weapon damage. Taking damage at max stacks triggers a purge, removing all stacks and status effects, and then dropping a healing cloud which restores 5% of max armor for 10 seconds to all allies. So you're running with the team, running in the DZ. When you're getting shot, you're gaining damage. That's perfect for PvP. Now with what I'm doing with PvE, obviously it's harder for PvP players to run Memento just going in to do straight up PvP. Now obviously you can go into landmarks, take out some landmarks, and then start the PvP, but once you die you're going to lose all those stacks. With PvE, you're going to have those 30 stacks up at all times. Now with Catharsis, it's basically an endless cycle going from 1 stack to 30 stack over and over, because once you get to 30 stacks, once you get one shot on you, you will lose those stacks, and of course you'll get that healing cloud, and then you'll start right back over. Memento, you're gonna have those 30 stacks up at all times. You know what, let's just read over this first and then I'll go over that point. Kill confirmed. Enemies you kill drop a trophy on a death. Collecting trophies provides both a short and long-term buff, the first of which scales with the number of core attributes equipped and lasts 10 seconds. So your first buff, 5% weapon damage, 10% bonus armor, 5% skill efficiency. So we have 3 reds on this build. Every time you collect a trophy, you will have 15% extra weapon damage, and as a solo PvE player, you will continuously be killing enemies and getting trophies. So honestly, that 15% is going to be up just about at all time. Then of course you get the 40% bonus armor for 10 seconds, and then we got 1 yellow, so nothing wrong with an extra 5% skill efficiency on top of that. And then, of course, the second buff, for every trophy collected, gain an additional 1% weapon damage, 1% skill efficiency, and 0.1% armor regen for 300 seconds, maximum 30 stacks. So you will have that 30 stacks for 5 minutes, but as long as you continue to collect trophies, you will continue to refresh that timer, especially when you're doing missions. Once you get the full stacks, you're going to be at full stack the whole rest of the time. And what that's going to give you is 30% extra weapon damage, 30% skill efficiency, and 3% armor regen. That regen continuously healing you. And then again, like I said, on top of all of that, the 15% you will get weapon damage from collecting a trophy. So you just about will be at 45% extra damage with the memento. Because when you take out an enemy, it's not going to take you longer than 10 seconds to take out another enemy, especially when you're talking about on a mission and you have a room filled with enemies. And you're continuously going to be stacking up that bonus armor, so trust me, you're not missing out on anything from the catharsis with this solo PVE build. Then we'll go over the guns that we are using. I have the Kingbreaker. This is at expertise 6, which gives me plus 6% weapon damage, max assault rifle damage, health damage, and damage to target out of cover. With the talent Perfect Flatline, amplifies weapon damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. After 2 kills, applies pulse to the next enemy you hit. Now the mods that I have on this, like I said, it's not a crit build, so I don't have any crit mods. I have a 3% headshot damage mod, and then 2 accuracy mods, just to give us more accuracy when trying to hit those headshots, and of course the plus 20 rounds. And we can go ahead and look at the stats. I mean, it's, you know, like I said, it's not a crit. It's got the minimum crit chance, 45 crit damage, 157.6 headshot damage. And then for our secondary, this is the rock and roll. Now, if you have an ACS 12 to where you can roll flatline on it, that's perfect. Unfortunately, I don't have one, so I do have a god rolled rock and roll. So it's basically just to get your stacks up anyway, and then switch back. But I tell you what, this thing does so much damage. Sometimes you really don't have to switch, because by the time it's time to switch, you've already killed the enemy. You know, but it's really just there to get your stacks up fast so you can switch back to the Kingbreaker and utilize that Perfect Flatline talent. And this one, I've upgraded it to tier 6, gives us plus 6% weapon damage, max shotgun damage, damage to armor, and damage to target out of cover. With the talent Perfectly Extra, plus 50% of magazine capacity. Then the mods I have on this is a 5% headshot damage mod and a 10% reload speed mod. And again, the stats pretty much the same. 149.6 headshot damage and 12% armor damage. So those are the guns on this build. Let's take a look at the skills. Now I have the Banshee Pulse, which you need to have the gunner specialization to be able to use this pulse. The Banshee launches a forward arc of pulse energy that disorients enemies caught in the wave, penetrates cover, applies disorient status effect on affected targets. You can see I am at tier 1 with my skill tier, plus 10% cone size, plus 10% disorient duration. And that cooldown will definitely go down significantly once you get your full stacks on the memento, because as we know, we get 30% skill efficiency, and skill efficiency is every single skill attribute in the game. Skill health, skill duration, skill damage, skill haste. It's just going to help your skills out tremendously, especially the Striker Drone with that extra skill damage. This one is at tier 1 plus 20% Striker damage plus 70% health, and I do have this upgraded to expertise 6. That gives me an additional 6% Striker damage. So we'll go over the specialization, and then there's going to be one more thing I need to talk about on that build. But we do have the Gunner. Killing enemies grants 10% armor. Always a good thing to get some armor on kill. Every third reload is 50% faster. And armor kits repair 100% armor and 30% and grants 30% bonus armor for 10 seconds. And of course, we get the Banshee Pulse and the 2 mods for it. Then we have Supply Line, generate 10% of total ammo capacity every 60 seconds. Party members recover 5%. 10% weapon handling while not moving, need to be motionless for 1 second. Plus 50% pulse resistance. And another thing that is really good on this build, anytime you can get some extra rate of fire, it's a good thing. rate of fire increases by 5% on kill for 5 seconds. So we have that. Now, one thing I wanted to go over is your expertise with your gear. Now, I had somebody point out something to me. You can see I already got some of these up. Like, these are expertise 4 or 5, and I probably should have figured this out myself, but somebody let me know, hey man, you may not want to use those points for your gear pieces because it's not really benefiting you that much. And so that's the one thing I wanted to tell you guys. Definitely focus on getting your weapons, upgrading your weapons, because that extra weapon damage comes in huge, whereas this extra armor does not come up huge at all. In fact, it does hardly anything for you. And I'll go ahead and take one for the team again and just go ahead and showcase that to you. All right, so the armor, we are at 1,499,000 armor. So let's go ahead and upgrade one of these pieces and I'll show you.
Nice to see you.
Expertise. Okay, so we're here on Heartbreaker and I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade my holster. Alright, so you can see we went from 3% armor for the expertise to now an extra 4% armor on the expertise. Now let's take a look and see where we're at. We were at 1,499,000. Now let's take a look. You can see 1,500,000, 611. So we basically got 1,200, almost 1,300. That is not much at all for the amount of materials that you have to use to upgrade that piece. Again, I would definitely recommend using your materials to upgrade the guns that you want to use, not necessarily your gear. Unless they change that, you're really not getting a whole lot of extra armor, to be honest. So it is what it is. But again, I mean, it's your game. You do what you want to do. I just wanted to throw that out there. So yeah, that is the build. And honestly, if you wanted to go even tankier, I mean, you're doing plenty of damage. So you can definitely turn one of these reds into a blue if you wanted to, and run with 1.7 for more survivability. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, all these build videos are just templates for you guys to tweak to the way that you like to play the game, your own play style. So definitely let me know in the comments what you guys are doing with the Heartbreaker. Again, like I said, this is for more of the solo PVE experience. I do have some gameplay coming up running through American history, and I think this is probably the fastest I've ever ran American history, to be honest. So this build definitely did some work. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And as always, my friends on YouTube, take it easy.
Your goal is a collection of transcripts and notes from months of prisoner interrogation. The information is stored on a military-grade laptop, kept in the main holding area downstairs. The first priority is to release the prisoners to keep the True Sons busy. You'll be looking for some kind of security terminal.